Welcome to Life Below. My name is Nilaus and this is a first look at, well, Life Below. It's a new game that came out on Steam a few days ago. It is an underwater city builder with a bit of a twist because we are making corals instead of civilization. And thank you to Casino Games for sponsoring this first look video. So this is where we're going to start. This game has a rich story and we are going to be skipping a little bit of the dialogue because it is very dialogue heavy, so it also gives you something for you to look into if you are playing the game. So we're going to be diving in. This is actually us spawning from this reef heart, and then we'll be seeing it. So we're going to be playing this first episode, first look, and if you like it, then be sure to hit the like button and comment. It's a game that I started playing it just for fun and just for guiding myself and just figuring out what it was all about, and I got really hooked on it and just wanted to play more and explore more. So I think it's a really nice, cozy and addictive city builder here. So let's see if we can clear the trash out and get started on building something in our little glorious little upcoming colony. So, you know what, hit the like button, let me know in the comment section, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of this game, or if you have other suggestions for other games we should check out. Here we are. So we are this blob thing. Thalassa, I guess. There you are. Just into your new guardian body, I hope. It feels strange to not be a water sprite anymore. So these are water sprites. I have so many tentacles. Well, I've showed great promise in your previous role. I only wish there was more time to train you as a guardian. Alas, the reefs need your help urgently, so you must learn the role. Yeah, that's fine. We'll learn. And figure out. We'll start with a bit of a tutorial to get started here. Provide you with some water sprites to aid you in your journey endeavors. And do you know that I used to be one of them not long ago? They do. Tell me they're fine with it. That's fine. See, this is so now we get into the game. So glad to see you. Oh, so this is Gaia. All right, Gaia is there. Good, so this is our start. This is basically our command center. I think that a lot of things is better to explain with StarCraft analogies because it does have sort of the similar vibe. So these sprites are our SCVs, our workers, and we have the reef heart here in the middle. We're going to start by reclaiming this. This is temporary resources just to get going on this base here. There should also be some temporary resources up here. And we now have our options for reclaiming. Yes, that's what we're going to do. Reclaim. This is the only thing we can do. We can just reclaim here. Reclaim coral matter and pearls. While we are doing that, we can look at the quest. This is the current zone. It's called Shoreline Gulf. We have coral matter. We have pearls. We have growth essence. We don't have that yet. And coral plates and infused corals. So we're getting the two of the resources now. Over here we can see some other things, like this is how many zones we have, what the biodiversity, all that stuff that we'll get into as we progress. And we have not really collected enough yet. We are going up here to collect. And then when they're coming back, they should also go and out collect this. Yes, please. There we go. That's 40. And then just get a little bit. Why are they going all the way out there? Oh, there's some resources out here. And that gets us to the 50. Perfect. There we go. So now we get a little bit more overview, and we have some things that we can do. Over here we have some sprout corals. We can build sprout corals, and they can only be built on these locations. So I'm going to start by building this one, which is closest. But it doesn't work like this one. It also has, like, this icon means that it's not part of the energy network. I can see that we can't do that yet. Okay, we can also build the other ones. Do I want to build the other ones? Yeah, might as well get them started on this because we need it. We need it. So this is now, we've brought the resources in the way that works. They collect the resources at the hub and then they go out and bring it out. Once all the resources are delivered, it goes through the build cycle, and then once it's done with the build, then it starts working. This one will then come up and say, oh, it's not working because it's not part of the network, the energy network. My god, it takes forever. Let's go, let's play at double speed. That makes more sense. And there we go, we built it, voila, and it now says it's not part of the network. So what we need to do is make a moon coral, and when we make it up here, you can see that now this is, again with the StarCraft analogies, there is not really any way to explain this without just saying, yeah, it's just pylons. It's just pylons, that's there. So when we build these, then we also get the other ones attached. And we want to make it as one continuous network, because if it's one continuous network, then everything contributes. If it's a disjoint network, then it has to manage the energy in each of the networks. But so this is why we're trying to make it sort of continuous all the way here. As long as it just touches, then it gets going. And we want to see, we want to build these two. We can see that now our sprout coral is working. This is basically going to be our pacing for the entire game, is how many sprout corals we get, the coral matter. Everything needs coral matter. Pearls we can get more by building additional clams a little bit later on, but we can't build more of these without going out to another area. So that's a little bit tricky. So we can see here they are going in. There's just one of these, and I think that I want this one to be prioritized so that we can get this one done first. And let's see, so they now go up here. They collect each spawn here, delivers 2, and then it'll bring out 5 to the capacity for these little sprites is 5, and then it means when the next one gets done, it'll produce 2. One of them will go here and one will go in there. Let's go. We can go in, collect 1, and you're collecting 1, and that goes directly in here, and then we get the second one. So once the power here is done, it'll trigger this one, then we get double the production of our sprouts. This one is producing 4 power. Oh, that's better. This one's only 2 power. What about this one? This will be 2 power if it gets done. And then we just need to build the next here. And so we have power on everything. Now we can start collecting. We can now make more clams. We have 1 clam up here that we have unlocked, but we're going to be making more. These need to be built inside of the power network here. So let's build 4 of these. So we get going. We have to manage our power. We can see here, we have 59 additional power, so that's not a problem. This will give us more pearls at the cost of more power, but there's no upkeep, there's no maintenance here, there's no allocation of resources. We have these 4 sprites, and they're doing nothing but going in here and just going around collecting resources when they can, and building. So they have like an internal priority. They'll try to build first, and when if they don't have anything to build, then they'll be starting to farm or to mine resources and get them back here. There you go. We have now completed it, built the clams. We have completed something, and then there's another little scene here. So we have completed the very first little progress here. So what does Gaia have to say for us? You've been making great progress. Unfair to do this alone. What do you mean? Oh, so we have a friend. Honestly, I'm gonna say one of the reasons why I don't want to read all this dialogue is because this character is super obnoxious, and it just gets a little annoying. So I don't want to be play the game than hearing sort of some smart ass mansplaining, because this is really the vibe is heavily mansplaining everything. And yeah, I don't really need that. We are going to be focusing on what is the game. I'll be your tutorial. Complete the lost sprite quest. Sprite spirit. So here's a spirit. So let's see. What do you want? You want a Express. Have you seen the shiny things around here? Be nice if you do my shell with decoration. Okay, so you want something to decorate your shell. There we go. And you need 15. So that's a good thing we built some of this. So they need to bring 15 pearls to this lost spirit, and then we complete the lost spirit here. The icon means that the internal storage. Okay, so this is stopped working because no one is demanding it, or there hasn't been enough coming over here to harvest this because they're busy on other things. We really want to get more water sprites, but that's easier said than wait for the spirit to be guided to the reef heart. So someone should come over and pick you up and get you into the reef heart. Plop you in here, and then we'll get the quest completed. Ta-da! Now we get claim the spirit's gifts. We can now do essence coral and growth coral. Those are basically science production. And then we have now new stuff. So we go over here. There's the growth coral. It's very important, in my opinion, to build it right next to it, because that means that it goes really quickly with getting stuff in here. Then we're gonna get them from crystals. 1, 2, 3, or essence growth. And this is outside the network. So let me just go another one of these as well. So we now build our growth coral here, and together with 3 of these, we don't have enough of enough power to actually support them. So I'm building more of the moon moon crystals here, moon corals, and we can go in here and go to the growth menu. The growth menu is basically the science menu. Currently there isn't a whole lot of things we can research, but what we can do is it needs growth essence, it needs pearls, and it needs coral matter. So let's go. That takes 30 seconds. That should be totally manageable to get that done. They need to bring all the stuff in, and only when all of that is done will they start the research. In the meantime, this is the highest priority. Then we can't really do anything else aside from this. I can just put more stuff in here. This growth, what is this one missing? This is missing. Oh, it's not missing anything anymore. Got everything it needed, and then the next one will go into more power. Yeah, so we definitely need more power, and we still need more power beyond what we have right now. So we might as well just build some of this as well. So we now have a new research completed, the crafter. I will also build the crafter right next to on the other side, because I think that's also another valuable thing to build here. Build it next to it, and in the meantime we're just kind of continuing on this. We have nothing new here, We don't have the habitats yet, because that's kind of what we need to research. But we could go to our growth menu, that's over here. Growth menu, and then see if we can get the next one. Yes, growth essence, pearls, and coral matter. Let's do that, because that gets a spirit well, which is something we need after we have this structure completed. We got the next research completed, so even before we got this built. That doesn't really matter that much. We're not going to go for the next one yet, even though it is tempting. But we want to get for the spirit wells, because right now our main issue is the fact that we only have 4 of these spirit sprites, and they need to do a lot. They need to harvest from these 3, they need to harvest here, here, and here. Plus on top of that, they also need to build whatever we need and sort of bring it back and forth. So that's way too much work for these 4 little ones. So if only we could build more. And that's actually what we can. We can build here on the top of this one and on top of that one. We can actually build some spirit wells. They don't do anything for us just now, but once we have the crafter, then we can actually use this, because this will enable us to get additional sprites, and that would be very much needed right now. So this is in progress, and once it's done, so we have to build the crafter, and once we get the crafter, we'll start seeing what we can do here. We'll use it to build basically additional sprites. So now we have built the crafter, and we've also built the first of these sprite wells. You can see this provides 2 sprite souls, and this one will provide 1 sprite soul, I believe. So we can get to 7, and that means we can now go in here to the crafter, open the crafting menu, and we have a new menu here. So if we have some materials that we can use, then we can take this and we can craft 2 eggs, and that will get us. So we need to bring more pearls in here so we can make eggs, back and forth, and reshape our build 500 structures. Well, there's none in this one. That must be between this and my test play. And I'm just also expanding our power network by our moon crystals. That's something we always have to do because, well, we need a lot more of that. That's the first sprite egg, and that will then need to be brought in here. And oh, look at the state of this place, so empty, so lifeless. And that means that what we want to do, we want to make some lures, and those are built in here. The first thing that happens is that once we get this stable, or first of all, this ecosystem is dependent on how big a percentage of the buildable tiles you've built on. So once we are above 10%, the harvestable grass will start growing. That's what it says here. So we should start seeing some grass somewhere that will start growing. And once we get that, we can harvest that. Then we can use that to make some lures. We can get some anemones and some lure them in and need that. So let's start with building what we need to get. We can't build that. We can't build that. We can go to our research though. That's here. And then we can research this one. That's going to be the first thing we want to do. Research more of this while still slowly building more power production. Here we go. We got the first seagrass that's been popping up. And there's another seagrass over here. So that means we can get at least 2 of the seagrass harvested. That's something we need to get once they actually start harvesting it. That depends on all the rest of the things they are busy doing. Because there's a lot of things that they're busy doing here. Okay, there we go. There's someone coming in. I don't know why that takes so long. Is that just how long it takes to harvest? Yeah, okay. So we get a little bit here. While everything else is, well, I would say accumulating, but it isn't. But it's just working on getting more of everything in here. So we got the last egg here. The last egg will give us the 7 out of 7 the sprites. And we got also another power plant We have power network, yes, good. This one is not fully grown, but we do have some. So now we can actually go here, go to our crafter, and then we have 2 seagrass, and they can be used to make some lures that we can lure some things in. We need to build these here, so we have some space within the power network to build on. So let's build some habitats for these beautiful little friends here. It says we should build 2, but let's build 4. There we go. And they need some food once they're done. So that's over here. Some algae corals. Let's make that. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is way too much because we need... Each of these can house 10 fish, but each of these can feed 20 fish. So we're actually feeding twice as many. But if we have low algae, then it starts complaining. So we'll use them. We'll need them anyway. And we get the first one that's in here while the rest is progressing. There we go. That's the first one. That's the first anemone built. Cool. Then we can now go into our lure storage, take one of these and build it out here. Then that will start luring in some clownfish and some, yeah, it's complaining. It says are starving, build more algae. Okay, so I'm going to take one of these and prioritize it so we get stuff inbound. We don't want our fish to be starving. What does this one complain about? That has a status. Its status is probably like it has no fish. First guess, life is beginning to flourish before our eyes. Okay, good. And here doesn't say what. And we got our first biodiversity. So you get biodiversity by housing wildlife. New species of wildlife give extra. So that's excellent. So we get more wildlife and are starving. And what does this say? You're running low on algae. So we got the first one, and if we click this one down, we can see that the algae bar here, I guess if it goes up here, then the algae bloom threshold, there's a chance of becoming decreases algae production to stay below. So we can also just overbuild it. Not really a likelihood that that's going to happen right now, but we are slowly getting there. And we got the first 10 fishies. We can go up to this overview, and we can see that there are 9 fishies here living in the anemone. And we can put another, now that we got another one, we can put in another lure down here. That one. Boop. So lure in some more fish. Starving, they really shouldn't be starving. Oh, we lost, oh, there's one fish that died and we lost 1 biodiversity. Ooh, that sucks. But we don't want them starving. So after this gets done, then we actually want to prioritize some more food for them. Good, but what this means is now that we have more biodiversity, then the pearls are full, but the coral matter, you can see here we got lots of growth essence, lots of pearls, but no coral matter. So that's really the issue we have here. So now we need to figure out what we want to research, and I think this is the one we want to research. It does require coral matter, some growth essence, and some pearls, and then 5 biodiversity. So let's get started on this. Reef is getting a bit cramped. Hard room to stretch my fins. We need to expand, which means strengthening the influence over the reef heart. Okay, so we need to research the upgrades. Oh, look at that. Evolve the reef heart, which is exactly literally what we're working on. So this is the next priority. First, we need to get the last bit of food here, and then anything else will go into this location. We can see that our pearls are stockpiling, so that also means that they're not spending time on actually getting that. And we have a lively amount of fishies here. 39 is the maximum we're going to get, so that's perfect. We're getting 39. And we found some clownfish and some Bangai cardinal fish. Those are apparently having a good time here. Great. This is getting built. This is built. We can generate more biodiversity by getting this, but we can also, we actually need more biodiversity. Yeah, if we look at here, we still have 41, so I could start build more anemones to get more, but I don't think that's what we want. We want to focus on this, but then we do need some more biodiversity to unlock the next zone. And there we go. As your reef grows, it becomes harder to track every zone. Open the zone overview. Okay, but we do this, and then we upgrade this here. Look at that. That's a good progress here. Coral storage have 2 main functions. So now we want to research coral storage. And to increase the global storage, that's nice. And second is to serve as a resource drop-off. So we need to research this one. This requires only one biodiversity. That's not a big deal. And we can also just see that the main problem we have is by far the fact that our we just don't have enough coral matter. So when we need to expand, that's all about the coral matter. I think we need to get more biodiversity, and that means the only way we can get more biodiversity right now is by making more anemones. So let's do that. There, we'll build them like this. I don't know if they also need to be in blocks of 4, but we'll build them like this. We got the storage now, and the storage is here. What we can do about the storage is here. I can build it up here. It's not like the greatest place, but it does mean that stuff that's being collected from here will go in here instead, and maybe also some other places later on when we expand out. It'll also give us that opportunity, but we do need to build one of these, so that's fine. And this one also works as a storage. It also just increase here. This is now 200, and then I think it'll get 100 more when this one completes. So things are stabilizing a little bit, and it's time for us to get the next thing, and this is own one zone and then develop it 2 zones to 20%. This one's already at 33%, so it is now time to expand into a new zone, which is going to be like the last thing we do in the first episode. So we go here, and then we can then see what are the kind of, you can see the kind of fishes and the kind of resources that we have here. That's just how the sea things. Then we can go and look at that. This is scorching delta. This is volcanic. So what we want to see is we want to have something that has high coral matter. That's the most important thing. Sprite souls, that's nice. Hydrothermal vents, since we don't have those research, that doesn't really matter. So this one has low resources of everything. That's kind of sucky. And that one, this one has high resource. So this is probably the one. It has also too high pH value, so that needs to be brought down. It doesn't have any hydrothermal vents, but that's fine. This one has no food at all, so this one has good food. This is the one that has the best. So this maybe has 3 of these, or at least it's 2, maybe also 1 there. So anyway, this is definitely the one. It costs 5 biodiversity. We have 7, so let's bring that in. There. And now it's the objective is to civilize this one. Oh, and we can't zoom in. It doesn't work like that. So now we have, you can see, oh, it's both too hot and it's too pH value thing. So that's no good. What we need to do then is research. If it is too high pH value, then we need to research some acidic this, and we also need to use a chill crystal. So if we start expanding in here, we're actually going to, the buildings will lose value immediately. This one needs to be water sprite. Yeah, 5 water sprites. That's needed to remove this one, but that's a function we don't have. Oh, so these ones are actually on top of valuable stuff. So we don't actually get the valuable stuff. We only get 1 location here. So that was actually a bad place to expand to. Oh well, because we need to move and we don't have the move command. It says, haven't started move command growth. So let's start expanding in here. I think the most important thing we want is we want to make sure that we are covering here. Let's get these 4 in here. I mean, I don't technically need 4. But I want to make sure that we get this sprout thing. Then we need to make sure that the pH value and the temperature are managed. That's over here. The pH value can be managed with, this one is 0.1 and 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll just build 4 because that's kind of what I need, and then I'll disable some of them. And then we get another one, the chill one, and that's also built 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. And that's probably a little bit overkill on all of this. It is. But we do need to get this one down by at least 2 steps, 0.2, and we need to get at least this one down by 1 step. So it doesn't need all of this, but it does need some of it. This is actually a little bit tricky because we want these buildings, but they kind of die before I can actually have a chance to actually get them powered. So these ones have now been, these are the acidic ones, acidic corals, which will help with the pH value. There we go. The pH value has now been restored because this one is now powered. We're going to need a little bit more. This one here is also powered. We're not powering this one, and now we can heal because we can't even heal when the pH value is bad. So we need to make sure that the pH value is working. Here you can heal your structures. Yes, we are healing structures, but only when they are part of. But there we go. So And this one is healing, and it is needing a little bit of work to be healed. Let me speed up that so that that gets healed, so we can have this one actually work, and that would be really lovely. That would work. And then, yeah, there we go. Get us some more. There we go. And we are now barely with the pH value. This 8.49 is the highest allowed, and this one here is also pretty good. So we're struggling, but we are getting all this. We now need to get all of this done. I also really want to get this one. This might actually be the highest priority because that's a local storage foundation here, and that will get us somewhere. Oh, there's a quest and a thing. So let's get us some resources and reclaim this one. Then let's have a look at you. That's Lost Spirits. Like a little something. Do you think you can help out? What do we help out with? Want the water to have a mineral bite. Lower the pH value in the zone. pH value in the zone. I mean, we're going to be lowering the pH value in the zone. That's kind of one of the many things that are top priority in this zone. Let's see what we get of resources here. Ding. That's, yeah, okay. Some pearls. We got enough of those, but it's nice still. So the crab should now be happy because we've lowered the acidity to 8.27, which is what we wanted. And then we're going to bring it in and we get a reward. Biodiversity would be nice. But let's see what we get of reward from this guy. Coral matter is nice. Shiny gray grass, don't need that. Pearls, no. Oh, that's a lot of pearls. But we need the coral matter. That's the stuff that's really lacking for us. And these are now being built. It's great. And we're now building here so we can get more biodiversity because we can't research anything without more biodiversity. And then we also need to continue on our quest down here to build 1, 2, like that. And I'm also going to build that over here. And then we'll gradually build our way to this area here where we can complete you. That one. Oh, that will be a wellspring as well. First, it's too cold. Oh, it's too cold. All right, that's fine. We just disable you and disable you. There. Back to normal temperature. Now let's put some more lures back in this location. We can check up here how many we have. We have room for 41. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what we can do here. So that gets us 4 biodiversity would be my guess. Once these ones get built. And then that will allow us to get in here and figure out what else we want. Like everything that's evolved requires coral plates, so that's not relevant. This here is we need the restore ruined zone, so that's a long time to go. We can do the fish hollow. That requires coral matter, so that's one thing we can actually do. And aside from that, the only research we can actually do is these two. So let's start working on the alkaline and the heat coral because we need those, and then we'll get the fish hollow afterwards. Oh, 1,100 clownfish in the same zone. Oh, that's nice. That's cute. And we got a few more biodiversity. Great. We're also getting new types here. We get the grey lure and we get the large grey lure. The large one will be something we can use later on in our crafting here. They will have sort of no modifiers. We only have the large one here. So we are going to craft some of the large ones because that will give us an opportunity to get some new kind of fish. We got the alkaline completed and then we'll get the next one completed here. So this zone we're going to get, we don't know how much you will, but you will give us an opportunity to get a few more water sprites. There we go. Just one more. Well, anyway, one more is still one more. So let's queue that up as well. And then, just because we're going to be building more of this down here and maybe also over here as well. There. I don't need to build them in clusters of 4. But it does give us the heat coral. Okay, so we don't have the heat coral yet. But once it starts, then the next thing we want to do after that will be the fish haven. Because then we can get other kinds of fish. And a mystery rock. We'll just do this. It says that there's a low chance that this cluster contains wildlife. Or some adjustments to the water temperature. But resources are resources, so we'll just take that. Let's see if we can figure out what this one has. Are you coming in for the resource? Yes, you're coming to study this one and see what you get. The problem is we can also get trash, but we got coral matter, which is kind of what we want the most. heat corals. That's great. So then the only thing we need to research at this point is coral matter. So let's get that one. There we go. We got actually 20% in this zone just from building moon crystals. But let's get it back. Actually, things are going rather well, barring any horrific disasters. Haha. Oh no. And barring any disaster coming in, and that means, of course, there is a disaster coming in. There you go. Periodically, hazard events will occur affecting a reef, but where is it? There we go. There's the hazardous. So, what does it say? This says you have a sense of a heat rising. Luckily, we have researched these here. So, if there's a heat rising, then we just gotta chill, dude. There we go. And then we prioritize at least 2 of them, but probably all of them, actually. So, this one is a countdown to when it starts. And then when it starts, we should hopefully be have at least one of these completed. So one of the cooling is already online, and the other one is almost online as it starts, temperature starts increasing. And we got the second one. So we are getting here. Heat wave is 1 degree. We don't know how much it's going to increase, but we're still in the good domain here. And then once this one completes, then it will be, it'll revert back. So we can see here, it gets -3. Okay, structures are only -1.7. That doesn't seem like much. We should be giving more. But it's increasing now. That's actually crazy how... And we're gonna get in trouble, aren't we? Yeah, it goes in trouble. So you really have to build like a lot of these in advance. And get this one done. Come on, there we go. And that needs to be done now. So now they start... Okay, the temperature is getting up really a lot. Why is this one not working? They should have enough. Okay, but we're getting one more. Is that enough? Oh, barely just getting it down here. Whew. But it's still increasing. Oh no, it's stabilizing now. The heat wave has spiked. Not bad. I always knew you were able to get this. Cool. Look at that. Look at that. Way too many dialogues back and forth. Get temperature to 24 or higher in the shoreline gulf. 24 or higher. But that's already done. Cool. And then here. Oh, this... Oh, no. Oh, it completed. Okay, so now it's like really... so we have to disable all of these. There we go. And then we're up to 28. Cold current. So we got a cold current. Weird. Yeah, so... And then we have a wildlife quest. Where is that wild? Oh, there it is. There's a wildlife quest here. This one says, accept the wildlife quest. What do we want? We want migrate 10 clownfish from one place to another. That's pretty simple to do, because what we need to do is we just need to make some anemones. We can make those down here. There. And then we need to make some corals, so they have some food. That's going to be this. And once this is built, we can migrate some of them over. I also wanted to make some fish havens, because I wanted to get a little bit of other kind of fish in here. Just because it looks cool. So let's also get some fish in here. Once we've done these things, then that seems to be a great place to sort of progress here. So we use the final function we have here on our dashboard here, and that's the wildlife migration. And we choose the shoreline gulf. We choose the tour thing here. And then... that's the wrong one. Why is that? Oh, I think I have to go up here and then do migration from here. Yes, from shoreline to tour gulf. Okay, so here I will do clownfish. It was 10 clownfish we wanted to migrate, relocate, whoop, and they're flying across the screen. Oh, that reminds me of the back in the good old days of screensavers with the fishies floating across the screen. I don't know if anyone's old enough to remember that. Wildlife is close to starvation. They're not close to starvation. Come on. Look at that. They have 30 food left. That's crazy that you're going that close to starvation. But we completed our mission here, and then the next mission, whatever that means, fire biodiversity would be nice, but coral matters we can always get, but biodiversity is a little bit harder to get. So we are going to wrap this one up here. We do have like almost we have here. We could get a little bit of extra food in here, right? Yeah, we can get one of these in here, so we get to get that food. Now that we have a new fish house here, a fish hollow, so let's get a food in here. Yeah, anyway, so this is kind of the part of the game. Like, I just keep on to just that's just a little bit more, just a little bit more, just a little bit more, and then it just kind of hours go away. So I'm enjoying this, and I really want to keep playing it. So if you are enjoying it, hit the like button. Let me know in the comment section what you think about it and what you'd like to see more of. Then I'll continue this campaign here on YouTube. And yeah, so thank you very much to all of you for watching all the way to the end, and also of course thank you very much to Cassetto Games for sponsoring this video. Do check it out on Steam, and there is a link in the description below, so do check that out. And thank you very much, everyone. Until next time, take care, and as always, stay effective.